Hello, ActiveSage here on the Sage channel, and recently Marek Rosa, the CEO of Keen Software House and founder of Good AI, the company that created Space Engineers and Medieval Engineers, has made a blog post, and I figure I should probably give you guys a heads up of what's in it. So simply I'm going to read through the blog post and then add any excess information I might think of while reading through it. Basic gist, if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, is just simply Space Engineers and Medieval Engineers updates are going to have some changes to them about their pacing. Anyway, I'm just going to read through it and then we'll go over it again at the end. Medieval Engineers short-term roadmap plus new approach to Space Engineers / Medieval Engineers updates. Today I'm writing to give Medieval Engineers players a better idea of where we are heading with the game, and the new features that await them. I want to clarify our big picture plans for the game, so players will be able to see weekly updates as steps towards the awesome game that Medieval Engineers deserves to be. The original vision for Medieval Engineers was solid: medieval technology, sandbox, physical interactions, realism, survival, intuitive and easy manipulation of volumetric environments, etc. But during the past year, we diverged from these core principles. I'm not satisfied with the current state of the game, and it's time for us to refocus and consolidate. It's time to make Medieval Engineers more exciting, fun, and streamlined. Medieval Engineers is challenging to play in its current state, especially for new players, and we need to streamline it before major features can be added. We need to find the most intuitive design for the original vision for Medieval Engineers, one that extends to building, construction, deconstruction, crafting, harvesting, fighting mechanics, sword and crossbow, and so on. These elements are and will be the focus of the game. So how will Medieval Engineers look after these big changes? Imagine your character spawning in the world. You will harvest, cut trees, build houses and castles, design protection against barbarians or other players, hunt, and get food to sustain yourself, etc. It will be easier to build with blueprints, so you'll have to be able to bring resources to a blueprint, for example, for a catapult, and the catapult will simply pop up. Hardcore players will always have the option to do it themselves, but the game will be more accessible for those who aren't interested in spending a lot of time building something in particular. However, these changes will take time. We know that weekly updates can frustrate players, because what happens behind the scenes in our studio is not always obvious to the public. It can seem like we focus on non-essential things, i.e. working on sounds rather than multiplayer. But the reality is that certain features and fixes take much longer than others. We always have multiple programmers, sound designers, and artists working on many things in parallel, and when a feature is complete, we release it. Other projects take more time, but we definitely keep working on them. Moreover, in the last 1 to 2 years, we have transitioned from an indie studio of 5 people to one of 50 plus. We're growing fast, and the growth continues. We've experienced some growing pains, like any expanding business does. The way we're solving this is to make our management process better by finding strong leaders for each project. I assure you that we are working to find the right person to lead Medieval Engineers and help us scale up so we can continue to bring you quality, awesome, fun, streamlined games with big features. Now here comes the new approach to Space Engineers / Medieval Engineers updates. Streamlining our games also means optimizing our development, management, and update process. For this reason, in the coming weeks, we will start updating both Medieval Engineers and Space Engineers on 2 branches. One stable branch and a second development branch. The development branch will continue to be updated weekly. However, these updates might not make sense every week, and there may be a number of bugs or problems with playing on the dev branch. Rest assured though, that all updates to this branch are part of a long-term plan. We will also have a stable branch that will be well tested and run smoothly for players. It will receive very important hotfixes and will provide players with a more comfortable gameplay experience. Every month or two, we will update the stable branch with new stuff from the dev branch. Having two branches will allow us to finish these major and radical changes without breaking the game every week or releasing features in their prototype phase before I can personally review them. Both games are in a very different stage of development than they were a year or two ago. They are more complex, and we simply need longer periods of time to make significant updates. In general, Medieval Engineers will be much more fun, coherent, exciting, and definitely more streamlined. Put simply, Medieval Engineers will become the awesome game that we all know it can be. Smiley face. Thank you for reading, and many thanks to Medieval Engineers players out there. We're grateful for your patience and especially your feedback. We definitely can't make this game without you. And that is all written by Merrick Rosa, CEO and founder of Keen Software House. Smiley face. Anyway, guys and gals, pretty simple and straightforward. What he is saying here is Medieval Engineers is a bit of slow build. When you're trying to build stuff in there, it's a bit finicky, and they're basically reworking a lot of that. He didn't give us really any specifics there besides the blueprint thing they've mentioned before, which is basically you put down a blueprint and it makes sort of a hovering box, and you throw all the components needed for whatever the blueprint is, and it just pops it into existence. We've known that. He hasn't gone about how much they're changing too many other things. Maybe we'll see it similar to Rust, where you just have a huge inventory in your character, instead of dragging carts around, or who knows. We don't really know at this point, but what we do know is the main thing in this is they're changing around their updates. And so if you don't know what all that development branch stuff means, it's basically when you go into Steam and you right click on a game, you'll often have an update area there, and I can probably show you that right now. So if we were to go over to Space Engineers, there we go, and right click on it and go to Properties, there's usually a betas area, and you'll often have a pull down there. And I can't show you everything I have in there, but you'll have a pull down. Well, I believe what they're planning to do is add another branch to this that everyone will be able to go ahead and access. And so you'll be able to access that, and every week it will receive updates, which may be completely and utterly game breaking. But the idea is this allows them to continue working and making their game greater while still letting us have an update every week, and then only moving those updates from the dev build onto the main public build, the one there if you just, without right clicking or anything, just click play Space Engineers, you would be playing that. They'll only move them over once they're ready to do it, instead of what has happened a few times where they move stuff over and something rather serious breaks. This also means it's going to give them more time to basically just work on bigger features without feeling the need to continually update the game. So you might end up with just a very lackluster week or two, but it's just because, well, some big features do indeed take time. Anyway, thank you a bunch, guys and gals, for listening. I hope you have enjoyed this little read through. Merrick Rosa is a pretty cool fella overall. Yes, for more game news, he has social media you can follow there on the post. I'll have a link directly to his blog post in the description below. Thanks a bunch for watching, and I shall see you guys and gals next time. Ta-ta.